Hey, welcome to The Explainer. So, when you think of Italy, what comes to mind? Probably ancient ruins, right? Rolling vineyards, amazing food, and yeah, you're not wrong. But today, we're going to go beyond the postcard. We're diving into a totally different side of Italy, a place that's buzzing with surprising innovation, social change, and some really groundbreaking science.
So let's ask the question, what does modern Italy really look like today? Let's just park the stereotypes for a minute. We're about to jump into 4 completely different stories that are quietly reshaping the country from the inside out. They offer this incredible glimpse into a future that's, well, pretty dynamic and totally unexpected. So let's see what's on the docket.
We've got a lot of ground to cover. We'll kick things off with the region's radical new take on reproductive freedom. Then we'll get into the weeds and tackle Italy's infamous bureaucracy. From there, we'll uncover this amazing story of a social enterprise that's changing lives inside prisons. And to wrap it all up, we'll tune in to the wild way that simple internet cables are now being used to listen for earthquakes.
All right, let's start in the southern region of Puglia. This first story, it really gets to the heart of a very modern problem. Trying to balance your life, your career, and, the dream of maybe starting a family someday. And here, a regional government is taking a truly groundbreaking step.
See, here's the fundamental conflict that so many women in Italy, and let's be honest, everywhere, are facing. On one hand, you've got your biological clock. It's a fact that fertility starts to decline after you hit 30. But on the other hand, you have the clock of real life. Finding a stable job, getting financially secure, that often pushes the idea of having kids further and further down the road. Those two timelines just don't line up.
And these numbers, wow, they really put it in black and white. A huge 85% of Italian women say they want to have kids. But look at the gap between that desire and the reality. For almost a third of them, the single biggest thing holding them back is money. So this isn't about people not wanting a family, it's about not being able to afford one.
And that brings us to Puglia's incredible solution, the first public funding for what's called social egg freezing in all of Italy. It gives a one-time grant up to €3,000 for women who fit the criteria. This isn't just talk. It's a super pragmatic tool that's designed to empower women, giving them the freedom to finally line up their biological clock with their life's clock.
Okay, so from reimagining something as personal as a woman's future, let's zoom out to reimagining the entire machinery of government itself. For decades, Italy has been, let's say, famous for its complicated and often frustrating bureaucracy. But there's a huge effort underway to finally change that.
Just take a look at this number. 43 billion euros. What is that? Well, that's the estimated cost of red tape to Italian businesses every single year. That's more than 2% of the entire country's GDP. So the stakes for making things simpler? They couldn't possibly be higher.
So what does this actually look like in your daily life? Well, forget abstract goals. We're talking about real, tangible changes. Soon, you'll be able to pick your family doctor right at the local pharmacy. They'll also handle all vaccines for anyone over 12. And for parents, get this, no more re-registering your kid for school every few years. These seem like small things, but they add up to a massive difference.
And this whole shift is happening behind the scenes too. Just check out the government's online job portal, Inchupe. In just 1 year, the number of positions they offer just skyrocketed, up by over 230%. This is not just updating a website, folks. This is a seismic shift in how the state actually finds and hires its people.
All right, let's shift gears again. We're moving from these huge, large-scale government reforms to innovation on a very human level. This next story isn't about policy at all. It's about changing lives, literally one stitch at a time, through a social enterprise with this incredibly powerful mission of redemption and dignity.
This quote here from the founder, Luciana Delle Donne, it just says everything. After this high-flying career in finance, she decided she wanted to create something with a completely different kind of value. The result is Made in Carcere, which, as you might guess, translates to Made in Prison.
So here's how it works, and it's so simple, it's brilliant. The enterprise takes all this waste fabric from big textile companies and then trains incarcerated women to turn it into beautiful accessories. They get skills, they earn a salary, and they regain a sense of dignity. And the result? The rate of reoffending for women in the program has been shown to drop by almost 90%.
It's a perfect example of a regenerative economy, where both materials and lives get a second chance.
Now, at the very heart of this project is a brand new metric that the founder invented, BIL, or Gross Internal Well-Being. She created it as a direct alternative to GDP. It completely shifts the focus from just, pure economic output to things that actually matter. Personal well-being, inclusion, social impact. It's a revolutionary way to measure what success and value really truly mean.
And for our final story, we're shifting from social regeneration deep into the world of cutting-edge science. Science that could change how we protect all of our communities from one of nature's most destructive forces.
I mean, it sounds like something straight out of science fiction, right? But believe it or not, Italian researchers are proving that the answer is a resounding yes. They are literally transforming this vast network of fiber optic cables, the ones already buried under our feet and running through our buildings, into a massive, hypersensitive network for detecting earthquakes.
And this idea didn't just pop up overnight. It actually evolved from a small pilot project back in 2019 that proved the concept could work. That success led to a much bigger initiative using fiber for all kinds of environmental sensing. And now, today, the Foresight project is taking it to a whole new level, using the cables that are already inside buildings to monitor their structural health in real time.
So, what's the payoff? Well, first, speed. And I mean a massive increase in speed. In those critical hours right after an earthquake, this tech can get structural damage reports out up to 90% faster than sending in human inspectors. And in that kind of emergency, time saved is literally measured in lives saved. In the second key advantage, it's just plain smart. Because the system uses infrastructure that's already there, those millions of kilometers of telecom cables, it can cut the operational cost for these critical safety checks in half. It's not just smarter and faster, it's also cheaper.
So when you put it all together, from redesigning social contracts for women, to untangling the state, to building regenerative economies, to turning the internet into a shield against disaster, Italy is quietly and diligently writing its next chapter. It's a story of practical, human-centered innovation.
And all this really leaves us with one final thought. After seeing 4 totally unexpected examples from just one country, it kind of makes you wonder, right? What other hidden innovations are out there, reshaping our own communities and the wider world, right now, right under our feet? Thanks so much for joining me on this one.